Hey guys, welcome to Hughes History. We're going to hit you up with a Federalist paper. How about 68? That's right, guy. The mode for electing the president and his perfect timing with the election a couple days away. So why don't we giddy up for the learning, go grow our brains, and see if we can't wrap our head around Publius. So Publius, Alexander Hamilton, is writing in Fed 68, the mode for electing the president, the defense of the Electoral College, and he's going up to bat against a couple of previous plans that have been floated around. We have the Virginia plan. They want this national legislature based on population. They also want the national legislature to choose the president. That's being put up against Elbridge Gerry. He has a plan where he wants the nation's state executives, the governors, to meet to choose the president, a different example of federalism. And then we have the New Jersey plan, which is kind of mirrored on the Virginia plan, but they want a plural executive, more than one president. And then even Hamilton himself had suggested for a lifetime appointment to the presidency, a lifetime executive and a lifetime national legislature. That didn't go over too well, you know, the whole Revolution King thing. But nevertheless, here he is defending the Electoral College. If you don't know how the Electoral College works, you can go watch that video that I've already made. It's a little bit old, but you can put up with it and learn a little bit about the Electoral College. But we all understand the very basics that each state is assigned a special number of electors based on their state representation in the House and the 2 senators that they get through that process as well. So every state gets at least 3 electoral votes, and then we have larger states like New York, California, who have upwards of 30 and more electoral votes. Now, these electoral votes are actually electors, real human beings, and these human beings meet in what's called the Electoral College, where they cast their votes for the presidency. So it's a little bit of a mirror job going on here about who's really choosing the president. But let's take a look at some of the specific defenses that Mr. Hamilton has of this weird electoral system, and we're going to go do that right about now.
Sing a happy song. La 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 la, Smurf the whole day long.
Now, one of the main arguments in the drafting of the Constitution against the popular vote was the idea of slave power. There are many more people in the North, and the states that are representing the slave powers in the South certainly don't want to elect the president through popular vote because they're going to lose every time. So then the attention kind of shifts to this Virginia plan where it's going to go to the legislature, but that just doesn't seem democratic enough. So the Electoral College system, in a sense, is kind of a balance between those 2 ideas where the people, in a sense, and Hamilton says this as one of his main arguments, there's democracy. They choose the electors. You know, if the state legislature chooses your electors for New York, who chose the state legislatures? You chose the state legislatures. So therefore, you are choosing these electors. And make no mistake about it, we understand the way that it works today through the unwritten Constitution, basically, is that these electors who meet, that's just kind of poppycock. It's kind of just a little bit of a party, you know, where they're just mirroring the state vote. We believe that we have the power to direct our state's electoral votes through our popular contests within the state. But not so fast, Buster. In the Constitution, that doesn't have to happen. These electors, and there are faithless electors, that's what they're called, they can cast their vote. Now, depending on states, they have different rules, but really, constitutionally, the idea is for whoever they want. For whoever they want. So why would Hamilton do this? Because he believes that if you leave the voting just up to the populace, it's just a popularity contest, that's what it'll be, a popularity contest. And that's a bad idea. And it's these electors who are going to operate, in a sense, like a wall of sanity, a defense system against the sickness of some kind of crazy person going to the presidency. So it's only a certain type of person who should be an elector. You can hear Hamilton describe him here. Men most capable of analyzing the qualities adopted to the station and acting under circumstances favorable to deliberation and to a judicious combination of all the reasons and inducements which were proper to govern their choice. Reflective people, thoughtful people, and in a sense, some people would say this is elitism, that these are the well-educated, the well-bred, the old nobles in the old world that have to safeguard against our democratic ideas, what the people want. And Hamilton is basically arguing, yeah, we need to defend against an unfit, someone without the right temperament, or somebody tied to foreign powers. You don't want a spy getting in there, do you? It could be murder. Yeah, absolutely. And we don't want somebody who is unfit. And when he's describing the type of person who should be president, you can hear Hamilton really hinting at this idea. Talents for low intrigue and the little arts of popularity may alone suffice to elevate a man to the first honors in a single state, but it will require other talents and a different kind of merit to establish him in the esteem and confidence of the whole Union, or of so considerable a portion of it as it would be necessary to make him a successful candidate for the distinguished office of the President of the United States. Hamilton believes that the Electoral College is the magic mud. It's the perfect storm. It's what you need in order to allow for democracy, in a sense, but also to make sure that the right people are choosing the right people to be president. And Hamilton's not too worried about someone who's unfit becoming president. You can see him note that right here. It will not be too strong to say that there will be a constant probability of seeing the station filled by characters preeminent for ability and virtue. So Hamilton thinks he has the perfect formula. It's the Electoral College, and he's defending it in Fed 68. And he also has some great ideas for electors. Who should be an elector? Hamilton's got 3 rules. Count them. Now let's just go over them right now. So number 1, he believes that these electors shouldn't be meeting in some big national convention. He believes they should stick to their hoods, stick to their states, so they're not being influenced by the different factions across the country. He also thinks that the people that are being voted to be in as electors should have not, quote, a great devotion for the current President of the United States. He doesn't believe that they should be partisan people, that they should be, just kind of hurrah, hurrah, hurrah for the current president. They should have an open mind. And lastly, he says these really shouldn't be elected officials. We should keep the politics, in a sense, out of it. These should be people from society, elevated people, but certainly not politicians. He believes this is all meant to defend against corruption and getting the wrong people in there to choose the wrong president of the United States. He also talks a little bit about the vice presidency. There was some ideas being floated about the vice president being chosen by the Senate, and Hamilton says, no, 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 that is crazy. The vice president is going to be the president of the Senate. Conflict of interest. They would then be beholden to the Senate, and in a sense, that's not a great idea if they're the ones picking. And number 2, this is a person who's a heartbeat away from the presidency. We really should have this idea of democracy that is choosing the vice president, even if it's not real democracy, it's indirect democracy, but we already explained the Electoral College. So that's it, guys. We hope that you understand Federalist paper number 68. Go buy it, put a poster up on your wall about it. It's just beautiful. All right, guys, make sure that you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, you're like killing puppy dogs. It's a terrible thing. And check out all the videos. We have over 400 videos to grow your brain so big, it'll be so big. And I say it at the end of every lecture because I mean it with all of my heart, guys. I'll whisper it. You ready? Where attention goes, energy flows. We'll see you guys next time that you press my buttons.